So whether you're just starting out with EcoPort or you're simply looking for some new ideas and techniques, hopefully there's something in this video for everyone. So let's get pouring. For today's project, I'll be using the Eco Resin along with a mixture of water-based dyes to help me create the beautiful effects you've just seen. So we'll start off with what is EcoPore? Well, it's a mineral-based casting compound that's activated simply by just adding water. Unlike resin, there's no part A and part B to worry about, and that's just one of the things that I love most about EcoPore. It's just so easy to use. I do recommend accurately weighing your powder and water, especially when you're first starting out, but EcoPore is really quite forgiving, and with experience, you'll learn that you do have a little bit of wiggle room. So I like to add my water to the powder and then give it a really good mix, making sure that every little lump is out the mixture. So what you're aiming for is a consistency similar to pancake batter, and depending on the room temperature and how much you've mixed, you'll usually have around 8 to 10 minutes of work time. Once this is fully mixed, it's time to add your colour. For this first pour, I've split my EcoPore into 2 different cups. Into one cup I've added turquoise and into the other I've added a blue. Now with EcoPore, timing makes a huge difference. You can pour immediately while the mixture is still nice and thin, or leave it for a few minutes to thicken slightly. The thicker the mixture becomes, the more defined the marbling tends to be. But be warned, EcoPore loves to go from perfectly pourable to in about 8 seconds flat, so I wouldn't recommend wandering off halfway through. This footage is actually in real time, and for these bowls I'm pouring straight away while the mixture is still very thin. Later on in the video we'll be using a thicker mix and you'll be able to see just how much difference that makes to the finished piece. Over the years, I've found that there really isn't a right or a wrong way to marble. Different techniques give different results, and even just a few minutes between pours can make a difference. You can already see that one bowl has much more defined marbling than the other. Now it's time for introductions. For those who don't know me, I'm Tony from Georgie's Gorgeous Gifts, and after plenty of trial and error over the years, I thought it was about time I put together a beginner's guide. Now on to the next batch, and I've skipped the weighing and mixing for you this time, and for this one I wanted very little white. The colours that I'm using are water-based dyes because EcoPore itself is mixed with water, so water-based pigments work beautifully with it. And although these budget colours work really well, the more expensive pigments from Homeware Designs give a much stronger and more reliable result. For this piece I'm using a combination of yellow and orange. And I've added about 3 drops of each colour and then push my stick all the way to the bottom. I then begin to fold the mixture in on itself 3 or 4 times, creating this natural blend. Another fab thing about EcoPore is that it only takes about 40 minutes before it's ready to demould, which is brilliant for someone as impatient as I am. Although, if you do want to varnish your piece, I recommend waiting at least 48 hours so that it's got plenty of time to dry out fully. Right, for technique number 3, we're going to be using this moon-shaped candle holder. This time I wanted more of a solid colour base, so into my cup I'm adding a purple. Rather than creating swirls, I'm giving this a really thorough mix. I'm adding a little extra pigment just to see if we can deepen that colour slightly. One thing you'll notice quite quickly with EcoPore is that you're never going to achieve those super vibrant shades you can get with resin because the base itself is naturally white. It's going to soften and mute those colours slightly, giving them more of a pastel appearance. So after adding a few drops of purple into a separate cup and swirling that in slightly, and then slowly adding the cup of purple that we'd created earlier. By doing this, we're going to have lighter and deeper shades of purple all working together. When marbling with EcoPore, you really don't need loads of colours to create something interesting. Sometimes just using different shades of the same colour can give you the same beautiful effects. So after completely filling up this candle holder, I've still got a little bit left over. So I'm adding some turquoise and blue and just giving that a quick swirl before pouring it into this coaster. And I have to say, this combination of blue, purple and turquoise has ended up looking absolutely gorgeous. Sometimes the leftover projects turn out to be your favourites. Well, for now at least. So once again I set these to one side and leave them to fully cure. Now this next piece was one of my favourites in the whole video, and that was this little adorable snail plant pot holder. And for this one I've switched over to my Homeware Designs pigments. With a choice of 26 colours, the Amazon bargain pigments are brilliant for experimenting, but if you want to sell your items, it's definitely worth investing a little bit more. So I've started off with a yellow oxide as my base colour before adding different shades of brown and reddish brown tones. But rather than fully mixing everything together, I'm simply giving them a gentle swirl. That way, once it's poured, we're going to get those lovely natural stone-like marbling effects. Now this is the pour that I left for about 7 minutes before pouring. This is going to give us much more defined marbling than the previous pours. Another benefit of Eco Pour is that you can pour deep moulds like this without too much trouble. And because I underestimated how much I needed, I'm simply mixing up another small batch and carried on pouring. I want the base to be a slightly different colour, so this time I'm mixing up a lighter batch. Because unlike resin, it doesn't really matter when you add the second batch, whether the first layer is still curing or fully cured. The one thing Eco Pour bonds to beautifully is itself, so if you ever come up short, don't panic. Just mix up another batch and pour directly on top. And what's even better, even though this mould is really deep, it still only takes 40 minutes to cure. So next up is a really effective design, and that's a straight up black and white marbling. So I'm starting off with a few drops of black and giving it a gentle swirl. Remember, if you fully mix in that colour, you'll end up with a solid colour rather than marbling. So I decided at this point to add a few more drops of black and gave it one final gentle swirl. And after about 4 minutes, I'm pouring it into the mould, but I'm only filling it halfway up, because you'll notice that the marbling tends to become less defined the further down the cup you go, particularly when using a stir stick. So the more you disturb the mixture, the more the colours blend together. So adding some more colour to the remaining mixture helps to preserve those beautiful marble patterns all the way through. But after pouring, as usual, I was still a few millimetres short, so rather than mixing up a new batch, a handy little tip I've learned: to bring it up to level, I'm adding some cured Eco Pour scraps instead. And because they're all completely hidden away inside the mould, it's a great way to use up leftover pieces. So for the final pours of the day, I've got 2 Lotus tea light holders and a couple of coasters to make. And to change things up slightly, we're using a split pour cup. This one has 3 sections. Into one I'm adding purple, into another green, and I'm leaving the middle section white. I'm then giving them a gentle mix before leaving them about 3 or 4 minutes before pouring. Now these moulds can be a little awkward because the opening at the top is really narrow, so you do have to keep stopping and letting the air escape, otherwise they have a tendency to overflow and make a bit of a mess. Go on, ask me how I know. So once this one was full, I simply used the excess to pour a second candle holder because, as always, I hate wasting anything. But I'd only ended up with enough to fill about half of this piece. So with the remaining powder that I'd mixed up, I re-poured my split pour cup, this time using shades of blue and purple in each cavity. I wanted the colours to be much more vibrant this time, so I really wasn't shy with the pigment. Random ADHD brain thought, that's an idea for a video. How much pigment is too much for this stuff? Maybe I can actually break Eco Pour. Anyway, into this cup I'm adding a blue base, and after thoroughly mixing that in, I'm adding a few different shades of blue to give it a gentle swirl. For the other cup, I'm doing exactly the same thing, but this time using a green. And leaving the mixture to sit for around 6 minutes. It was time to pour, and you can really see the difference. Not only is the marbling more defined, but the depth in that colour is stunning. With what was left from that pour, I'm adding it to finish off this Lotus candle holder, which by now is fully cured. So you'll be able to see just how well Eco Pour sticks to itself. I then added the remaining colours to this split pour cup and poured the second coaster, this time going for a much lighter blend. And that's when I did something really silly. To finish topping the mould up, I added a little bit of this lighter colour into that dark beautiful mixture, and instantly I thought I'd ruined it, but what could I do at this point? So after only an hour, the whole lot was ready to demould. And this is the moment that I always get really excited about, even after all these years. You spent all that time mixing and pouring, and now you finally get to see whether your experiment worked or whether the crafting gods had other plans. This tray looks very different from the front compared to the back, and somewhere along the line we've completely lost the orange. But I don't mind that much because it's left behind this beautiful blend of yellow swirls. And to really bring these pieces to life, in part 2 we're going to be decorating these pieces with vinyl and some resin. Next up is the blue, purple and turquoise coaster, and honestly I love this one. That turquoise has really pulled through the purple, creating some really pretty movement. This is exactly why I love marbling so much. No 2 pieces ever turn out the same. And once again we're going to be using some vinyl, this time adding the words "Whale, hello there," along with a little whale. I mean, How cute is that? And then we have the moon candle holder. The camera really isn't doing this piece justice because there are some beautiful subtle swirls running throughout it. Although the differences are quite delicate, you can really see that the lighter and darker shades of purple are all working together. Sometimes you don't need loads of contrasting colours to create something interesting. Even slight variations in the same colour can create really beautiful effects. We then come to my absolute favourite piece of the whole video, this cute little snail plant pot holder, and I tried so hard to demould it carefully, but somehow I still managed to pull his eye out. Thankfully, that's going to be an easy fix because honestly, I'm in love with this piece, and once that's added coats of varnish, the colours are really going to come alive. Next up are these coasters, and I wasn't too sure how I felt about these. You can see that even using very similar colours, you can still end up with completely different patterns and effects. The only problem I'm having is that I can't decide whether I prefer the front or the back. Which side would you choose? Then it was time to demould the lotus candle holders, and this is the one that used the triple split pour cup, which has given us a completely different style of marbling. You can clearly see the defined areas of each colour, very different from anything we've made so far. There's a little bit of overspill on the bottom, but nothing we can't fix in part 2. And on to the second one. This one was a little easier to demould. Now this is the one that was made with 2 separate pours, but even with the colour variation, you really can't tell the difference. And for the penultimate demould, it's the skull. And I have to say, I am super pleased. A simple design, but really effective. Adding that second layer of colour has helped to create the depth all the way through this piece. And I already know exactly what I'm going to do with this spot on his head. I'm even thinking about adding a little bit of bling to his eyes as well. And last but not least, we're back to the bowls from the beginning of the video. And these two really show how much difference the timing can make when working with Eco Pour. This was the second bowl poured, and with only a few minutes difference between the two, you can see that this one is slightly more defined at the base. And this one is the first bowl that we poured. Because the mixture was still very thin, it's created those softer, more flowing patterns, and comparing these two side by side really highlights how different your marbling can be. So that's it for part 1, and I hope this has inspired you to go and create your own Eco Pour pieces. But join me tomorrow for part 2. In just a few simple steps, I'll be showing you different ways to enhance these pieces, turning them into spectacular handmade gifts. So until then, stay safe, happy crafting, and bye for now.